James, you have the one-lap Camaro, and I wanted to know basically everything I can learn about the car, but it seems like there's a whole bunch of Camaros out there trying to be like this car, but I've heard that yours is really holding ground and doing quite well. Can you tell me what you did to the car to make it really close?
Well, when we set out to do this, that's what we saw. Tons of Camaros, because they're easy to build, there's lots of parts available, and they're a really great starting point. And I've had Camaros since I got out of high school. But we wanted to really set something up that worked, that could do it all, and we wanted to hit the road course, hit the autocross, just have a lot of fun. So we went kind of overboard over what maybe the average guy should have done or could have done. It's basically an all-steel car, all original, sheet metal at one point. Right now, the roof is about the only part we have modified. Stock front subframe, very basic build on the front, coil-over suspension. Rear suspension, we got a little more aggressive. We've got a 3-link back there. We put an LS7 engine in out of a 2008 Corvette, backed by a T56 6-speed. And 2 years of dialing in, dialing in, dialing in, and dialing in.
So, how are the wheels and tires and brakes playing now that you've gotten some experience with the car?
They are, it's awesome. One of the difficulties that we've got with tires in particular is the majority of the events that we run require us to run a spec tire. For the one lap of America, we chose to run Michelin Pilot Sport 2s. They're very compliant tires. They're good in the wet, they're good in the dry. They're not fantastic on a road course, 9 times out of 10. They start to give up a little bit before the car does, but that's what we have to run, and we make the most of it. Brakes are big 6-piston, 14-inch rotors in the front, and 4-piston, 13-inch in the back. They're fantastic.
Good. And how about your engine and transmission?
Engine was built by K-Tech, who builds the American Le Mans Series engines for the C5 and the C6R Corvettes.
Okay.
They've been building LS engines probably for every minute as long as General Motors has been making them. And it is pretty much bulletproof. This motor now has 7,000 miles on it, racetrack miles, highway miles. It's just as good as the day we brought it home. And the cool thing with these LS engines, on the highway at 85 miles an hour, whatever the legal speed is at the time.
That's what I drive all the time, James, so I'm with you.
I try. It gets about 28 miles to the gallon.
That is awesome.
On a road course like this today, it gets about 2.
Oh, that's awesome for me too.
It is actually pretty cool.
Okay, so then the modifications underneath are quite extensive, it sounds like. How about to the body of the car?
Body of the car is mostly stock styled. We took a factory front spoiler, redid it out of metal, closed in the sides, built a partial belly pan with a splitter on the front, try and get a little bit of the aerodynamic issues that first-gen Camaros are known for out of the way. We've had the car up to about 170 miles an hour. It feels just fine.
Doesn't feel like it's going to fly off?
No, it actually feels great. On the back of the car, we put an adjustable rear aluminum spoiler on it. Likewise, that helps. Some ability to get a little more improvement there, but that's kind of the last thing that we've been playing with. So it's been a learning experience, one step at a time.
And tell me about the interior of the car. I noticed some carbon fiber seats, and the dash is nothing like what I'm used to seeing.
The interior is a prototype from Marquez Design in California. It's trying to give it kind of a modern supercar feel. It actually sits the driver back a little bit further. It's got a digital race pack dash, which data logs all of my racing, so I can look back and see how things are working with it. And the best analogy I can give is when you sit in it, you kind of feel like you're sitting in a jet fighter cockpit.
So what I'm gathering from what you're telling me is you built this car to beat the hell out of it, to drive it.
I did. We started work on this car almost 6 years ago. And it was, Pro Touring wasn't in its infancy, but there was a whole bunch of Pro Touring cars that were just being built. And I wasn't seeing anyone doing anything with them. And I said, okay, I was a drag racer. I've always had first-gen Camaros that I've raced, and I wanted to get into the Pro Touring and road driving and road course racing stuff. But I didn't see anyone doing it. So we decided we wanted to build a car that could do it all. And I grew up with Hot Rod Magazine like I think everybody else did, and I watched guys like Mark Stilo, who were running One Lap of America, and the Gottliebs with the big red Camaro who were running the Silver State Challenge. I looked at that and I said, you know what? That's what I want to do. So probably 6 months after I started the car, I changed my mind about half of what we were going to do and built the car to go that route. And this year we did run the one lap of America in the spring and won the Vintage American class, so we're really proud about that.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
We've run the Silver State Challenge 3 times now, an awesome event, and then we get to go do things like the Ultimate Streetcar Challenge here, and at any opportunity I can get to take this thing to a track, I'm there.
Well, we're going to pay some attention to how you're driving today, and the attention to the car as it continues to learn more and evolve, and we wish you all the best of luck in all your events.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks, nice to meet you, Jason.
Nice meeting you too.